or with going ahead with the upcoming main batch, you can complete this pre-course, make sure you're solving assignments, giving the coding test and the technical interview, and then going ahead with the main batch. So that's it. That's all you need to do. Right. And okay, I think this is it. And since our webinar is also live on YouTube now, if I'm not qualifying the coding test, okay, for people asking if you're not qualifying the coding test, what you need to do is that you can simply go ahead and book your seat through the sapling program. So that is also something for beginners, for those who are just starting with this course. I think something that is really recommended from our end is a beginner friendly sapling program that we've started with owing to the students' feedback. So the students really wanted something that could give them insights about coding from the basics, and hence we started with sapling. So I think that it really helped people who wish to work upon their coding skills, as well as competitive programming in general, competitive skills in general, logical reasoning, quantitative aptitude. I think that is something that sapling is providing as an add-on to everyone. Right. I think since we are done with this, okay, why are streaks breaking? Are the streaks are a lot of people facing issues with streaks? So I think that is something that code of the day might have issues with. So how many people are facing issues with maintaining their streak for code of the day? Is it not visible for a lot of people? Okay. Okay. So yeah, I think it's a time zone issue again. Please check your computer's time. So I think you need to update the timing of your computer and the date and the time format. And I think that would be, I think that should resolve the issue. But then again, if it is still not resolved, please let us know. You can just let us know in the Discord chat itself, or you can just ping me or ping us on the general channel and we'll help you there. And okay, for people talking about India losing today, I am equally worried. Yes. Okay. Anyway, so since we were already going ahead with this session, I'll just brief you about few important announcements. First announcement is that the coding test again would be starting from 18. So make sure that you're continuing to solve assignments regularly, right? And coding test and the technical interview, for people asking, is based on the pre-course free live classes that are happening currently. So make sure that you're attending these classes on a regular basis. Or if you're not able to attend, make sure that you're attending the recordings. At least you're getting to see the recordings. But again, in case you do not get to see the recordings, or you do not get to attend these classes, that is only as an alternative. We do not really recommend watching the recordings, because again, if you were in the live class, I think you'd understand much better, right? And AccioSat is for both Sapling and Pioneer program. The scholarships through, I should say, Code of the Day or AccioSat would be applicable to both Pioneer and Sapling. And yes, also another question is, how many Code of the Days have people solved until now? I think I repeatedly asked this question, but I have to take a quick roundup, I believe. A quick update, I should say. Okay, 4, 10, 3, 5, 2, 5, 4. A lot of numbers which are, okay, 11. Okay, so these are, there are, I think, 4 or 5 code of the days that you might have solved until now. So make sure that you're solving at least these many code of the days, right? And once you solve these many code of the days, I think make sure that you're solving one code of the day every day. And again, if you get to solve these code of the days, you will get a lot more idea about coding. They might seem tricky to a lot many people who are here, but again, they're built to challenge you. So once you're attending these pre-course live classes, code of the day might be really easy, right? Might be really easy for people who are just attending these classes on a regular basis. So that's it. And okay, besides that, I think there is nothing else that I wish to cover as such. And level, okay, level is a little bit high. And it is a little bit high because, again, if you're attending the pre-course live classes and you're going ahead for a scholarship, there are a lot of people competing for the scholarship, right? So I think we have to keep the level a bit tougher for people. But then if you're attending these classes, I'm sure you'll be able to solve them. And for Pioneer program, there is a selection program for people asking, which is coding test and technical interview. You will find it on the website itself. And what is coding marathon? Marathon happens on Discord. Okay. So in order to go ahead with coding marathon, you can just go ahead, join Discord, and it's competitive programming in general. It's competitive coding. So you just go ahead, compete with coders who are similar, who come from similar coding experiences like you. And that will help you improve your that will help you improve your coding speed and help you improve your coding skills in general. So that's something that we conduct as an activity for people who are joining. So make sure that you're engaging on Discord. We are trying our best to engage you. You just need to figure out how you can engage yourself, because again, the efforts are yours at the end of the day. Okay. And also for, I think, Kunal, can you take over right now? Or maybe I would have to answer more questions. So I
Yeah,
can.
sure, Shivam. Just give me a moment. I'm starting to share my screen.
Right. And yeah, for I think for people asking about English improvement, okay, for people asking about the same, it's pretty simple. Once you enter the course, we have a lot of HR mocks, we have a lot of these resume building sessions, I should say, mock interviews. So we'll train you better in your soft skills. That is something that you can be assured about. Right. And okay, with on that note, I'll just hand over the session to Kunal. And Kunal, I think you can introduce yourself better, but I'll give people an idea. He's an upcoming SDE at Google. And yeah, Kunal, how could you introduce yourself, or how did you introduce yourself in your interview?
Okay, sure. So let's start with a brief introduction about myself. My name is Kunal Singhal. I'm an upcoming SD at Google. I have been associated with AccioJobs as a mentor for last 6 months. I have been doing competitive programming for more than 2 years now. I am ranked among top 300 Indians on Code Forces, and apart from that, I'm candidate master on Code Forces. I basically love problem solving a lot. So yeah, that's pretty much all about me. Yeah. So should we start with the session, guys?
Yes, Kunal, I think you can go ahead.
Okay, sure. Just give me a minute. Uh, I hope all of you can see my screen. So yeah, today's agenda is the roadmap for Mang companies, right? So before moving towards the agenda to how to prepare for the Mang companies, let us first discuss what exactly are Mang companies. So guys, Mang is basically an acronym for 5 companies: Meta, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. These are the biggest companies of our era. They have impacted our life for the most. These are the companies which operate on the biggest scale. Almost everyone on the planet is their user. So the scale on which they're working is very huge. The engineering problems which they're solving are very hard right now. And there is a lot of prestige associated with them. For the past decades, their stocks have provided one of the highest return in the history. So everyone wants to work for the Mang companies. So yeah, what are the job perks? What are the job perks for working for the Mang companies? So the first job perk, guys, is lots of money. The compensation for them is one of the highest in the industry. You'll be paid like a very high salary for both the new grads and for the experienced folks. You will be working with the smartest minds of the world around the world. You will be working with people smarter than you are smarter than you. You will be collaborating with them on a regular basis. You will be learning with them on a regular basis. Apart from that, the work-life balance is very amazing. So it's not only about the money. You'll be also getting time to pursue your hobbies. Almost everyone working there has a hobby which they can pursue side by side alongside working. And there are a lot of perks and benefits, like there is a free food in the office, unlimited free food in the office. You have a gym in the office. There are a lot of sports to play in the office. There is a football ground there. There are a lot of virtual games you can play there. So it's a very good life there. So how to land at a job at these top tech companies, the Meta, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. So let's move towards that. Before that, I'd like to see if any of you have any questions. Yeah, is my voice breaking? Okay, okay. So I'm audible, right? Okay. Can Shikhar, you confirm, am I audible or not?
Yes, Kunal, I think you're audible.
Okay, okay, okay. So, guys, first let us first discuss about the recruitment procedure at these companies. That how you will be recruited. So, the step one is the initial resume or the CV training. Basically, you will be sharing your CV at the portal of these companies, at the respective companies at which you are applying, or to the recruiters when they reach out to you. So, you will be sharing a resume first. Then they'll filter out your resume. Then there will be one phone screen interview. So the basic purpose of phone screen interview is to filter out the candidates to check whether the candidate is ready for giving the technical interviews or not. It is generally taken by a software engineer, a junior software engineer working in the company only. So the phone screen interview generally lasts for 30 to 45 minutes. And the difficulty level of it is around lead code, easy to lead code medium. This is basically for the filtering the candidate only and to get more about the candidate, why you're interested for the profile. Once you have cleared the phone screen interviews, then you will be having 2 to 3 technical face-to-face interviews. So in the face-to-face interviews, a software engineer for the company will join. They'll ask you questions regarding your profile. They'll ask you the data structures and algorithms-based questions. DSA is actually the most important thing if you're aiming for a man company. You'll be grilled on DSA a lot. General expectations from the interviews is to solve 2 lead code mediums in under 45 minutes. So you will be expected to solve 2 lead code mediums in under 45 minutes. You'll be expected to code them properly, use proper variable names, and you'll also have to explain your approach properly. You'll be communicating your approach. So there will also be some discussion around your projects which you have made in your resume and you have uploaded in your resume. There will also be some discussion around the CS fundamentals, like the operating systems, the database management network system, and the computer networks, and the object-oriented programming. Once you have cleared all the technical interviews, then there will be a HR round. HR round is basically to check your communication skills. See, this is a very important round because as a software engineer, you will be working with a lot of other software engineers in your team. You will be collaborating with other members on a regular basis. So it's very important for you to have good good communication skills because you will be interacting with a lot of people on a daily basis. So I've seen a lot of people getting rejected in this round after like getting selected in the technical round. So you will have to improve on your communication skills side by side to clear this round. Is the recruitment procedure clear? We will talk more about it in the upcoming slides, that how your resume should look like and how you should practice for the technical interviews. Yeah, Board AP is my handle, Preetham Sai. Yes. Did verbal communication also matter? Yeah, Gitanjali, verbal communication matters a lot because see, you will be collaborating with other team members on a regular basis. So it is very important that you can explain whatever is in your mind very clearly. Monica, I'm a fresher. I'll be joining in July next year. Yeah, I'll be showing my resume. The difficulty level of technical round, yes, we will be discussing till what level you have to practice. Yeah, what's your okay? Yeah, it's a good salary one. Okay, so I think we should move towards the sir. Is background degree matter? See, IT is a very welcoming field. If you have the right skills, then the degree does not matter much. It may be an initial hurdle for few interviews, but once you have some experience in your resume, the degree will not matter much. What will matter is the skills you bring on the table. Yeah. So let's move towards the resume that got me into the Google. I want to show you basically the resume which got me into Google. Just give me a minute. Yeah, is my resume visible, everyone? Okay, so see, in my resume, there was this experience section. In the experience section, I have added about my internship, which I did at NTU. Basically, all about my project work, which I did there. The major highlight of my resume was this achievement section. I used to participate in a lot of coding competition, guys. I have practiced a lot on the code forces and the code share. So I had good ranks in them. So I used to put my ranks in these coding contests in the resume. So this used to be the main highlight of my resume. Generally, the interviewers used to get very impressed after seeing this. So what happens is in the resume, you need to have two sections, two important sections for you will be, one will be the projects part and one will be the achievements part. You need to have at least one of them to be very good. My project section doesn't used to be very good, but my achievement section used to cover up for that because my achievement section was good. So if you don't have a lot of achievements, what you can do is you can have some very nice projects. Maybe you can add a merge type project or a good and unique project or a Spring Boot project. So this will help you to this will make your resume stand out. Yeah. Does anyone have any doubts? Okay, okay. So, a general mistake which I have seen people doing is they generally make their resume in the Word or they self format it. But you should not self format your resume. You should do the pre-made template, preferably on the Overleaf platform. You can Google search about the Overleaf platform. If you're applying for the interviews, your resume should look more professional. So you can use the pre-made templates on the Overleaf platform. The template I used was the Abe resume template on Overleaf. Uh, MVPC is asking, I didn't done any project yet. What should I do? So yeah, MVPC, you can spend maybe 15 to 20 days. The making the project does not take a lot of time. Maybe you can follow any Udemy course or maybe you can follow any YouTube tutorial on preferably a full stack application. So you can make your projects. It's not a very big issue. I'll take the doubts regarding the Google interview process towards the end. Just give me a minute, guys. Just give me a minute. I think my laptop is hanging. Just give me a minute. I think the issue is not. Sorry for the inconvenience, everyone. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible. What is Bodip? Bodip is basically my handle name on Code Forces. Okay, so now let's move towards the most important topic, that how to prepare for these technical interviews. So see, the most important part for getting a job in these companies, guys, is the DSA part. You will have to be very good at the DSA part. DSA is basically data structures and algorithms which these companies use to judge your problem solving skills. So how you can practice DSA is you have to first solve the basically 10 to 15 median problems on every topic. For man companies, you can expect the difficulty level to be around lead code medium to lead code hard. So you will have to practice the advanced DSA concepts also. Till the trees topic, it will be your intermediate DSA part, and for your DPs and graphs, it will be your advanced DSA part. So you have to be comfortable with the advanced DSA part also. Yeah. A general mistake which I have seen people doing DSA is a lot of people find DSA to be very tough, which is the case with everyone. So people leave DSA in between. That I think you should not do. But it is not expected from you while practicing that you will be able to solve all the questions by yourself. This actually lets people down. Like when they're not able to solve the question by themselves, they feel very demotivated. But you should not feel demotivated. What is expected from you is you have solved a particular set of questions, you are comfortable with them. And if in the interviews a similar question is thrown to you, then you can solve it. So just keep practicing with the DSA part. Practice more lead code mediums. The general difficulty level for a FANG interview for the basically the Meta and the Amazon is you need to solve 2 lead code mediums in under 45 minutes. And for Google, difficulty level is a little bit higher. You have to solve 1 lead code medium and 1 lead code hard in under 45 minutes. Do you have any doubts? DSA with programming like C, C++, Java, or only DSA? Okay, so Shiva, so first you will be selecting any language, which can be anyone with your what you are comfortable with. It can be C++ or Java. Then you have to learn the fundamentals of the Java, the fundamentals of the Java, like of the language, like the Java. So you will be learning the fundamentals of the language, and then you will be moving towards the DSA. In the interviews, the DSA part will be asked. You'll be expected to solve lead code medium questions in under 45 minutes. What does the company expect or look into a fresher? So Niharika, the companies basically expect the fresher to have a good problem solving skills. They don't expect you to have the knowledge of a lot of frameworks, but they expect from you is that you have good problem solving skills. See, they will be investing their resources on you. So what they want is you are a good problem solver. If they invest their resources on you, then you should be able to learn them quickly. How to build logic and approach. So Shiva, this is something I used to stuck a lot, usually in the initial phase. I didn't used to get the logic for a lot of my problems. What I used to do was I used to watch the solution. I used to maintain 2 Google Sheets. One Google Sheet was for the questions I was used to able to solve by myself without any problem. And then I used to maintain another Google Sheet. In that Google Sheet, I used to add the questions which I was not able to solve by myself. And I used to regularly revise those questions. So what used to happen was after a certain point, the logic used to get fitted in the memory. So now for the new questions, it will get easier for you. See, DSA is basically the game of practice. The more questions you have seen earlier, the more easier it will be for you to solve a new question. What does lead code mean? So lead code is a platform, Sham, on which you can practice the DSA questions. It's a very popular platform where there are a lot of interview specific questions, basically the DSA questions. You can just Google search lead code on Chrome. What is your approach to coding problem? Whenever I see a new problem, I usually map it with a previous problem, which I have seen earlier. Can I use any existing knowledge which I have right now? And if not, I generally watch the solution or I learn from the solution and I regularly repeat it for a lot of problems. No, Mohammed, there is no age limit to join for freshers in a IT industry. Which upcoming language is better for future? You can pick up any language. Generally, you can pick up any among the Java or the C++. Any OOPS language will work. how much time you will require to get comfort in DSA. Okay, so Saurabh, for a complete beginner, I'll say it will take you at least 6 months to get comfortable with the DSA part. Yeah, Kavita, if you have the right skills, you can definitely get placed in any company. Does they prefer IT and CS over any other branch? See, there is not a very general high bias regarding this. If you have the right skills, then there is no issue. Is a higher degree? No, a higher degree is not necessary. General undergraduate degree is enough for the high paying job. What matters is how are your DSA skills. Yeah. Now let's move towards the next part. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Am I audible? Yeah. So what you have to do once you're done with the DSA part, what other things are important? So along with DSA, another thing which is very important is your core CSE subjects. The core CSE subjects which are important are the object-oriented programming, guys. One is your database management system, another is your operating system, and another is your computer networking. So these are also asked alongside with their DSA. Generally, you'll not build very much on them, but yeah, you'll be still expected to know them, know the basics of them, because these are needed to become a good software engineer. Yeah, how you can learn these subjects? Basically, you can watch the Jigs for Jigs. You can Google search Jigs for Jigs core subjects on the internet, and you can refer those notes for learning these topics. Or you can you can follow any YouTube playlist for that. Yeah, Gate Smash is a good one. Yeah, Rajesh. Yeah. So apart from the core CSE subjects and the DSA, now you will also have to make the projects for your resume. You need to have some good projects in your resume so that your resume stands apart. So what you can do for that is you can work on these technologies. Like your project should be a full stack application project. So you can work on for the server side, you can work on a Spring Boot or Node.js or Apache. For the client side, you can basically use the React for the front end. So you can make projects in any of the technologies. Yeah. So yeah, these are the technologies which you can work on. Now moving towards the projects part. What additional projects can you make? See, these are some of the examples which you can make. For the man company specifically, you need projects only for your resume. In the interviews, the projects are not discussed much. In the interviews, what will be discussed will be the DSA and your core CSE subjects. But you still need the projects to make your resume look impressive and to make it stand out. So these are some of the examples which you can you can have a look on for the projects. Basically, an online code editor or a resume builder or a training application or an e-commerce website. Basically, a fully functional website with all the features, a full stack application. Yeah. Do you have any doubt, guys? I have the knowledge of front end and back end, but not knowledge of DSA. Is it okay? Somewhere no, it is not okay. For the Mac companies, not only for the Mac, even for startups also, basically every software company, they'll require you to have a knowledge of DSA. If not for the advanced part, at least in the intermediate part, you should be good enough. How did you learn full stack? Full stack. So Hariharan, you can follow any Udemy course or you can follow any YouTube tutorial. Just search MERN stack. MERN basically stands for the MongoDB, ExpressJS, React, and Node.js. It's basically a full stack application which you can make. I'm a finance. I'm going to become SD. I've started JC. Can I join? Yeah, Dhruv, you can basically join. You just need to have the right skills. Just give me a minute. Yeah. So along with the theory subjects, the DSA and your projects, you need to have very good communication skills also, guys. Because as I told you, as a software engineer, you will be collaborating with other software engineer on a very daily basis. So you need to have very good communication skills. You should be able to explain your thoughts in the words. See, knowing about anything is a different skill, and explaining it to others is a different skill. So you need to be comfortable in explaining your thoughts. Yeah, so just keep practicing DSA. DSA is the most important skill if you want to get into product-based companies. Along with DSA, just focus on your theory subjects. The theory subjects includes the OOPS, DBMS, operating systems, and the computer networks. Along with that, you need to have at least one decent project, a full stack application. Along with that, you need to have good communication skills. Yeah. Do you have any questions for me? Websites to practice. See, the most important website for you to practice is the LeetCode platform. You can practice on the LeetCode. LeetCode is specifically targeted for the interview preparation. So you can practice on the LeetCode platform. Shalja, we'll send the link for the PPT. Can you explain the levels of DSA? Okay. So, Harsh, first you will be learning the fundamentals of a language. The fundamentals of the language basically includes the loops, the arrays, the strings. After that, you will be learning the basic DSA. It will be started from the recursion topics. So then you will be learning the recursion, the time complexity. After that, you will be moving towards the intermediate DSA. It will include your linked list, trees, hash maps. And then towards the ends, you will be moving towards the advanced DSA. It will include topics like the graphs and the DSC. The roadmap for SD. So, Kapil, to become an SD at a good mind company or a good product-based company, you should be comfortable with the DSA. So, just solve around 400 to 500 lead code questions. You'll be good to go for the interviews. What should be your approach as a beginner? So see, as a beginner, there are a lot of concepts which you will not be knowing. So for almost every other question, you will be learning something new. So just don't get daunted with it. Learn from every question. If you're seeing the solution for every question, it's not like a bad thing. Just learn from them. Learn from every question and maintain a sheet. In that sheet, add the questions which you were not able to solve by yourself in the first go, and revise those questions regularly. Otherwise, what will happen with the DSA is you will keep on solving new questions and you will keep forgetting the previous one. So the revision is very necessary for the DSA. The DSA with JavaScript, preferably, I'll prefer more towards the C++ or a Java. LinkedIn 90. Yeah, Ashutosh will share that. You can just LinkedIn. You can search my LinkedIn, the Kunal Singhal. You'll find me. Is it necessary to have BTech degree to join Mang? No, because it's not necessary. Some few days back, a girl posted on LinkedIn. She was from BCA. So no, a BTech degree is not necessary. What matters is the right skills. This note making is important. So Miraj, for DSA, I didn't make notes a lot. What I used to do was I used to track it in my sheet only, the questions which I was not able to solve. So I didn't use particularly felt the need of making notes. But yeah, I used to revise those questions on a regular basis on which I was stuck. Is it necessary to have an internship? So see, if you don't have an internship, then you can offset it by having some good projects in your resume. You can have some good projects in your resume, so it will balance that. It's not necessary to have an internship. Can you please suggest where to learn the MERN stack? Okay, so Shiva, you can basically learn the MERN stack from, you can follow any Udemy course, or you can just Google search any tutorial. You can search for an e-commerce website clone. You can basically search for, you just search MERN stack projects on YouTube. You'll find plenty of them. Please repeat CSC subjects. Okay. So Reva, the CSC subjects which you need to learn are the object-oriented programming, the database management system, the operating systems, and the computer networks. These four are the most important. These will be asked to in the interviews. Java framework Spring Boot. Spring Boot is not very necessary to learn, but it's a good thing to have in your resume. I have a gap of 3 years after graduation. Can I still pursue for man? Yeah, Deepak, you can still pursue for the man. You will just be considered as a fresher, so that's not a problem. But yeah, you can pursue. Which language is good? So yeah, you can use any. You can learn DS in any language among C++ or Java. These are very widely used. How much time commitment per day required to get selected in big companies? So Govardhan, at least 3 to 4 hours you should spend on your learning every day at least. See, the more you will be spending time, the more better you'll get. But at least 3 to 4 hours you should spend every day. How to switch from non-IT to IT. So Ajit, just make some good projects. In your projects, add some good projects on the MERN stack or any stack, on any full stack application, just add them. Get very good at the DSA part. You have to be very good at DSA to get a job at a good company. Be comfortable with the core CS subjects. Learn the CS subjects also. And then I think you're good to go. I am preparing GATE along with competitive programming. How to manage time? So Ashutosh, what you can do is to manage your time. What you can do is you can give contests on the competitive programming website. So like Code Forces has contests from 8 to 10 p.m. So you can focus more on the contest and just keep on absolving the contest. Solving basically means to after when the contestant solve the problems which you were not able to perform in the which you were not able to solve in the contest. Which language is good in the backend development? So Kuldeep, you can use any among the Spring Boot or the Node.js. How much time we need to spend on one question if you're not able to solve on that question? So Shiva, it basically depends. If you're a complete fresher, don't spend a lot of time on the question, because as a beginner, there are a lot of concepts which you need to know before solving the problem. So what I used to, I never spend more than 30 minutes on a single problem. I directly used to watch the solution, and then I used to revise them on a regular basis. Python with DSA, yeah, Ashpak, you can do DSA in Python also. Yeah. Various contests more available for programming. So Ashutosh, you can give contests on any website, any competitive programming website like Codeforces, CodeChef, or LeetCode also conduct every week the programming contest. So you can participate in the LeetCode contest. They're very nice. They're almost like an interview only. The questions you will be asked in the interview, so you can participate in them. With the full stack development, a very good feeling in the future. Yeah, Anish, just be strong with the fundamentals, just be strong with the DSN course US part, and you're good to go. What to do if you don't get interview call? So Arvind, then work more on your resume, add more things in the resume, make your projects a little bit more better. Participate in the coding competitions, add them in your resume. Which one is beginner friendly? I think the beginner friendly is LeetCode is more beginner friendly. LeetCode and CodeChef. Codeforces gets a little bit advanced. Which framework is more preferred? Generally in the industry, Spring Boot is a lot of work is happening in the Spring Boot. Tell us about your interview experience. Okay. So Himata, in my Google interviews, I had three DSA rounds. All of them were purely DSA based. I was asked questions on the advanced DSA part. In my first interviews, I was asked the graphs problem. The initial graph problem was a LeetCode medium level problem. So I had already saw that problem on the LeetCode, the similar problem on the LeetCode. So I was able to do it very quick. Once I did that problem, the interviewer added some more constraints in the same problem. They basically increased its difficulty level and converted it into a LeetCode hard problem. Then I solved that also. I had to code it in a Google Doc. I had to also explain while coding my solutions. Similarly, that was for the second and the third round, the similar format. In my third round, I was asked dynamic programming questions. The both of the questions were dynamic programming question. Do we need to buy LeetCode Premium? No, Aditya, you don't need to buy the LeetCode Premium. The standard LeetCode version has everything which you need to get like, for the companies. Preferably an individual project, Shanmugra Priya. Preferably an individual project. Your project in the resume should be individual. Okay, so Hariharan, the most important thing to get into the FANG is the MANG is the DSA. You have to be very good at the DSA part. You should be able to solve the LeetCode mediums under 45 minutes, two LeetCode mediums under 45 minutes. Then apart from that, you should have a good hold of the theory subjects. As we discussed, the OOPS, the DBMS, the computer networks, and the operating systems. And then you should have a good resume. To make the resume good, you can add some good projects or you can have some ranks in the coding competitions. Yeah, JS for the freshers, there is no system design out, there is only DSA round. So for the man, you will be only just on the DSA skills. The system design round is generally for the experienced candidates. Does your journey will be like a UPSC aspirant? No, no, Saurabh, it will not be very not that tough. But yeah, you will need to put a consistent effort for a regular basis to get a job, to get a job in a good company. Do they ask the exact questions from lead code? So Nadeem, it depends to company. Like for the Amazon, they do ask the exact questions from the lead code. The questions which they ask are directly from the lead code. But for the Google, you will not find the direct questions to the lead code. They will be they will have some variation in it. Can front-end developer give an interview in bank? Yeah, Deepak, a front-end developer can give an interview. You just need to be good in the DSA part. Is lead code is free? Yeah, Nudeep, lead code is free. Almost everyone who is aspiring to be a software engineer uses lead code. 2 to 4 months is enough for DSA from scratch. See, yeah, around 4 months, you can get good at DSA if you practice daily for a good time. The major topics, Himachal, it can be anything. Till the advanced DSA part, it can be anything. You have to be good at basically everything, the recursion part, the recursion trees, linked list, DP graphs. Yeah, Shivalika, this is the most important thing. Deepak, if you put the required amount of time, then 6 months is enough. But it again is depend. Everyone has a different learning curve. But yeah, if you are putting required efforts, then yeah, 6 months is enough. Amul, generally the jobs are a bit more in the development side. For front end, back end, which language is required? You can learn any tech stack, Satya. You can learn either the Merl tech stack, or you can use you can make the back end the Spring Boot, anything which you like. Sir, time manage time tips. Okay, so like Ashutosh, like try to devote at least like 3 to 4 hours for your learning every day. If you're not getting focused, then try to make a timetable or use any productivity apps. Like there is a timer in the mobile phones. Try to use them. The major part in the CV team plays the interview. See, Himacha, it can be your projects. The projects will be the main highlight of your resume. You need to have good projects. If you're not having the good projects, then you need to have a good ranks in the competitive programming websites. Phone screen round means, so phone screen is basically a round which is generally held before the interviews. Basically, you'll it will be like 30 to 45 minutes Google Meet. They will ask you some like easy to medium level questions to check whether you are good to go for the interviews or not. How difficult to mechanical to IT sector? So Khalif, there won't be a lot of difficulties. See, I have a formal CS education, but I have personally never done a lot of anything in my college. Whatever knowledge I have learned it through the free resources available on the internet. So yeah, you just need to devote the time on the correct things. Like Shiva, till trees, it is enough if you're targeting the companies till the 12 LP. But after that, you need to do the advanced DSA part also if you're aiming for a man company. Yeah, Rajesh, we'll share it towards the end. Okay, how many questions should I solve on a daily basis? Saurabh, I feel rather than targeting a particular amount of questions you should solve on a daily basis, you should target more on the number of hours you will study on a daily basis. Otherwise, what will happen is it will start affecting your learning. People generally rush up their learning if you will set a fixed number of questions target. So you can have an alternate target of that I'll study these many hours in a day. So just do the question like very understand the concepts behind the question. Don't focus more on the quantity. It's required for the DSC interview. Which one, Shivalika? Yeah. Any more questions for me, guys? You can ask your questions in the chat box. It's hard to manage timing as a working professional. So yeah, Mahima, there are a lot of people, students working with us who are working professional. As a working professional, things are a little bit more tougher for you. So what you can do is maybe you can devote some hours after your company work ends, maybe in the nights for your learning. Follow all the class codes and the assignments, and be very comfortable with all the codes that you have done. Is it necessary to learn DSA from point of view of every language? No, Reva, not for every language. You have to master DSA in any one language of your choice, preferably C++ or Java. No one will test you on the basis of the number of languages which you know. What they need is your DSA concepts. How good are your problem solving skills? So Kafil, initially you will face a lot of these difficulties that you will not be able to code what you are thinking. So what I used to do was I used to see the solutions from the problem and I used to learn from them. As a beginner, there are a lot of concepts which you might not be knowing. So just learn from those problems. Like it's nothing to worry about. Almost everyone faces these problems. DSA is hard initially. It takes a lot of time to master DSA. Like it will require a lot of consistent effort. So Saurabh, first you should be learn the fundamentals of any language, then you should move towards the recursion and the time complexity. Then you should learn the linear data structures like the linked list, and then move towards the trees, and then you can move towards the advanced data topics like the DP and the graphs. Which am I supposed to solve on lead code mostly? So Nadeem, if you're a beginner, if you recently started coding, then you should focus more on the lead code easy for the time being. Once you have enough practice of the lead code easy, then you can shift towards the lead code medium. Yeah, so for writer, you can start with the lead code easy. Then you can look to move towards the lead code medium. How can I focus on DSN project? How many hours should you spend on DSN the project? So see, Pranshu, the maximum time of yours should go towards your preparing towards the DSA. For projects, you can complete a project in 15 to 20 days also, but your maximum time utilization should happen on the DSA part, because that is the major part. That will be the major part of your interview. For around 45 minutes, you will be expected to code the DSA problems. What about the hard one? Okay, so like once you're comfortable with the lead code medium something, then you can move towards the lead code hard. Mang interviews are online or offline. So Deepak, for my interviews, they were the online interviews. All three of my interviews are scheduled on the Google Meet. Yeah, any more questions for me, guys? Yeah, Vivek, all my interviews were on a Google Meet, including the behavioral round also. No, Reva, it's not necessary to learn the data science. It's depends on your will. What are the different websites for learning and contesting? Okay, so see, the most important website is the lead code, as I already told you. On lead code, you will have to practice a lot of questions. The lead code also conducts the weekly contest. So for every week at night 8 p.m., I think at morning 8 a.m. and night 8 p.m., they conduct the contests. Yeah, Nadeem, all the best for your upcoming journey with the AccioJobs. I'm rooting for your success. Is it good to learn two technology at the same time? Ishwar, no, it's not a very good idea to learn two technology at the same time. Generally, you'll get confused if you do that. Try to focus on one thing at a time. How is AccioJob DC? It's a nice course indeed. It's a very structured course. It's a nice course. How many time is important every day for course? So Nishan, you should at least do it 3 to 4 hours every day, at least. Can you suggest some platform to get more practice? So yeah, Himaja, you can refer to the lead code and the Geeks for Geeks. Do I learn DSA from random topic or is it a particular pattern? So Deepak, first you have to learn the fundamentals of any language, like the loops, the arrays, the string. Then shift towards the time complexity and the recursion part. Then you have to learn about the OOPS, the object-oriented programming concepts, which will be used for the further data structures like linked list and the trees. Then you can move towards the linked list, streaks, stacks, and queues. And once you're done with it, then the only part left is the advanced DSA part, which is the dynamic programming and graph, which you can do towards the end. As a fresher, will consider, yeah, like if you have the right skills, you will be considered for high paying companies. Yeah, Jigs for Jigs are free platforms now. Both the Jigs for Jigs and the Lead Code are free. Yeah, Ganesh. DSA is compulsory. You cannot skip DSA. DSA is the most important part. for getting a placement at a product-based company. Uh, like Shiva, I'll not recommend to do the both the DS and the Spring Boot project simultaneously. But I felt is doing doing both the things simultaneously creates a lot of confusion. You can just focus on one thing at a time. Like for example, you can practice for the DSA, and if you get bored from the DSA, then for 1 week you can basically resume your DSA part, and for the 1 week you can spend fully for the projects part. Otherwise, the momentum gets break a lot. Do we need to learn Java completely? Not as a language, Himata. You have to be proficient in the data structures and algorithms in the Java and the object-oriented programming concepts in the Java. Java as a whole is very vast, otherwise. After placement, what types of facility does company provides you? So, sort of, you will be getting a lot of facilities like there is a free food in the office. There are a lot of games to play. There is a whole game counter there. Okay, so Sudhir, if you have an experience in the HR side and if you're shifting towards the coding side, so you will be basically considered as a fresher. So yeah, that's perfectly fine. If you have the just focus more on your skills, I don't think it should be a problem. Is it necessary to learn PHP and SQL? No, it's not necessary. But yeah, the SQL knowledge is required. It comes into the database management system part only. So Avadesh, you will be given the opportunities for the product-based companies. After that, it depends on your practice. Yeah, Saurabh, them says equal priority as in which profile is more jobs. So like Kapil, like more the profiles, the front end and the back end have jobs. So it doesn't matter much. How to solve a question? So Shiva, just think for the problem for around 10 to 15 minutes. If you're completely blank on a problem, that means you're not getting anything. Just watch its solution. Then learn from the problem. Otherwise, if you're getting the idea, if you're getting an approach that you can solve it in this way, then try to work more around it. Try to like solve it for small sample test cases. Try to figure out anything if you can. This future is best approach to solve questions. Sort of for the like if you're a beginner, then you can do with a flowchart. But after a certain amount of time, you'll get comfortable to solve with a flowchart. Yeah, any more questions for me, guys? The class will get started in some time. Suggest where to learn for the backend. So sure, you can basically learn any the Spring Boot or the Merge stack. Just follow the YouTube tutorials for it or a Udemy course. How is the culture in the company? So sort of like the people are very like the culture is very nice. People are very supportive. They will help you a lot. So it's a very nice culture in the company. Yeah. Any more questions for me, guys? Well, the class is starting sometimes month. I think in the next 5 minutes the class will start. Where can I find DSA beginner question? Can you tell that? Okay. So, Kaushik, you can just go towards the lead code and you can search the lead code easy problems. Any best Udemy courses, Pavan? So you can just search on the web developer on the Udemy and follow any top rated course. All of them are good. Yeah, we can correct on LinkedIn, Ashutosh. Just give me a minute. Yeah, you can ask me in the chat box, Pavan. Yeah, Pavan, you can write it down. I think the class is going to start soon. How much time take to intermediate in days? Say somewhere around 4 to 5 months, depending upon your speed. A DSA is easy. Anuj, like I'll not say it is easy, but it's not something which you cannot do. You will just require a consistent effort regularly on a regular basis. A LinkedIn profile. Yeah, just give me a minute. I'll I'll share it with you guys. How much level of math is needed? Mohammed, like some math is needed, but not like a very advanced maths. If you're good to go till the class 8 maths, you're good to go. How much DSA problems I have solved? Samir, I have solved a lot of DSA problems. I have solved around 1500 plus problems. Do we need to make notes for the DSA? Sort of generally, no. I never made notes for the DSA. You just directly submit the problems which you're solving on the platforms, the lead code or the GFG, and keep on revising them from time to time. So they will act as a note for them for you. In Udemy, we have so many. Can you pick any one of them? So, Pavan, there is an option in the Udemy to filter it by the ratings. So you can just filter them by the ratings and you can pick up the top rated one. The LinkedIn ID. I think someone from the team will share the LinkedIn ID with you. I think the team AccioJob will share it. So Spring Boot is actually a framework for the backend which we use. It's totally fine if you have done the .NET. Totally fine. How many questions solved DSA to crack any company? So Samir, after around 400 to 500 lead code mediums, you will be comfortable to go for the interviews. Yeah, Deepak, you can do this course. How much time you've taken to prepare yourself? Okay, so see, I took I started my programming journey around my first or second semester. I coded regularly till the sixth semester, so I coded for 3 years. I basically enjoyed coding problems. I left to do maths problems, so I enjoyed doing them a lot. Hindi talk. Ashutosh, generally no. You'll need to converse in English in the HR round. Adit will be talking the Java. How much time we should give for DSA in a day? Like Anuj, I think I already covered this question. Rather than focusing on a number of okay, so time. So here, Anuj, I'll say at least 3 to 4 hours every day. The more you can spend, the better it will be. Which is good. CPP, Java, or Python. Any one of the CPP or Java copy. Yeah, you are allowed, Mohammed Sarafuddin. So how to approach the technical interviews in the big tech giants? So Shivam, they'll revolve mostly around the DSA part. So just get comfortable with the data structures and algorithms. Just good, very good at it, and yeah, that should work. The link for the lead code DSA. Just Google search lead code summit. The first link will come for the lead code website. Just log in, make your account and log in that. If we know Java and do not have knowledge of other language, yeah, Harish, it's not required to have the knowledge of every language. You should be just comfortable in one language. The DSA in one language. We can see course syllabus. I think it's on the website, Deepak. You can do it in the website. Yeah, any more questions for me, guys? Yeah, for the roadmap, Kapi, just work on the DSA part. Start with the basics, start with the fundamentals for around 15 days, work on your fundamentals, then move towards your intermediate and your DSA part, basically. Yeah. Do we need to stay motivated to code on daily basis? Yeah, you need to code daily, right? Yeah, you have to code daily to become better at anything. Roadmap for startup IT companies. For Ashutosh, the startups will, along with the DSA, they'll care a lot about your development skills also. So for the startups, along with the DSA, you need to have some good development skills also. But for the man companies, they'll care mostly about your DSA skills. This logic are almost same if you complete your DSA at once. Yeah, like Saurabh, you will feel the question, the patterns are repeating. This percentage matter much? No, Samir. Like only your DSA skills matters the most. How to build logic. So, Mohammed, for building logic, you will have to solve lots of problems first. Initially, no one gets the logic for the problem. I used to struggle in the very basic questions also. Like, I was not able to solve the reverse number by myself. I had to watch its solution. But what happened was, once I had practiced a sufficient amount of questions, I used to feel the problems are now repeating, the patterns are repeating. No, Shiva, the Amazon Web Services is not mandatory. For freshers, what is expected from you is that you have good problem solving skills. So you have to be good at the DSA part. The package for man. Sorry, you can Google search it. You'll get to know. Yeah. Should I leave my job or for getting placed with higher package? Shivas, that basically depends on you. If you can manage your learning alongside with your job, then I don't think it's necessary. But yeah, you'll have to devote like 3 to 4 hours for your learning. Okay, promote. So basically, they're the same thing. So the SW and the SD are the software engineer, the software developer engineer. They're basically the same thing. How to remember DSA program after solving lots of questions. So Samir, what you can do is you can keep a track of all the questions in a Google sheet. I used to maintain 2 sheets, so you can also maintain you can maintain one sheet with the questions for which you're comfortable solving, and one sheet for questions which you're not comfortable. And you can like repeatedly revise those questions which are not able to, which are not comfortable with. Yeah, Saurabh, it's going to be really interesting. You'll be learning a lot of things. It will be a good learning curve. Typing being does matter in company? No, sir. Typing speed does not matter much. Like, also, you don't have a like a fast typing speed. Is learning anything extra like Kafka helpful? So Shivansh, like if you should be good with the fundamentals first. See, these are the advanced things like this Kafka. So before learning that, you should be good with the DSA part. The 90% of the website is JavaScript. So Deepak, basically for building the websites for the web development, you use the JavaScript, but for learning the DSA, you use the Java. Generally, the companies work a lot on the Spring Boot part for the backend. Oh, okay. So Shubham asked the question how to stay cool and calm in the interview. Most of the students are not able to maintain this. So please tell us how it is possible. Okay. So Shubham, see, initially everyone is like very nervous before the interviews. Before my interviews, I was also very nervous. So what I did was I give a lot of mock interviews with my college seniors or basically from the paid website. So I give a lot of mock interviews to get comfortable with it. So just give a lot of mock interviews. After a time, you'll feel that it's a normal thing only. Yeah. Any other questions for me, guys? Yeah, Pallavi, the communication skills will matter in the interview. You should have a decent communication skills. You should be able to convey your thoughts, whatever is in your mind. Shivansh, like majority of your time should go towards the DSA. You have to spend some amount of time for the theory subjects and the projects also. But yeah, the majority of the time it should go towards the DSA side. Yeah. Any more questions for me? In interview, I suddenly go blank. So Satya, practice more questions, and give a lot of mocks. Have a sufficient quantity of problems should be solved before the interviews so that you're good to go with the concepts of it, and you should have a sufficient practice of the mock interviews so that you don't feel nervous before that. How many projects are necessary to be made? We shall at least one good full stack project. You should have at least one good full stack project in your resume. I'm a 21-year-old, a lead to enter in the field, but I have a non-technical background. See, Saurabh, your background does not matter much. What matters is your knowledge around the DSA. You can basically learn DSA at any point of time. So just get good at DSA. 3 to 4 hours of learning apart from regular lectures or combined. Yeah, apart from the lectures, like the self-study time, Nishant. I'm weak in English but good in DSA. Yeah, Bhaskar, you can get a good salary, but yeah, try to improve your English as well because you will be communicating your approach in the interviews. You'll have to explain the code which you're writing there. So you need to be good to convey your thoughts. Someone asked, can we make real life projects? Yeah, Vijit, you can make a real life project like a clone of like some students recently showed me the projects like the clone of Netflix and the YouTube. So yeah, you can make them in the front end module. Yeah, any more questions for me, guys? Yeah, I think I have some few more questions. Yeah, class is going to start soon, guys.
Yeah, Kunal, I have joined.
No, Pramod. Buying it from me is not necessary. How to be consistent? Like try to solve problems on a regular basis. Try to complete all the assignments which are given to you. So what to do when you stuck in a coding problem? So Shivansh, I usually see the solution of the problem whenever I'm stuck. I do I add it in my sheet and I watch its solution and then I revise it at regular intervals. Yeah, I think the Ritik sir has joined.
Yes, Kunal. Yes, Kunal, I have joined.
Hello, Ritik, can you confirm whether you have
Yes.
joined or not?
Yeah, hello, hi, Kunal. I have joined. Am I not audible? Hello. Is my voice? Yeah. Okay, so I'm audible. Kunal.
Ritik, have you joined?
Okay, now this is a strange thing. Okay, let me text him.
Okay, then I'm stopping the screen.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Great to see you all again. Yeah. Hello. Sorry, there. I think there was some confusion. Right. Yeah. Chalo. I guess thank you all for continuing for today. Right. So let's quickly begin. So let me quickly share my screen and we can jump. Okay. There is one small problem. Okay. First of all, how do I say this small problem to all of you? You'll probably bash me for this, doing this, but yes, I'll start loops today. Don't worry. That's where I want to start. Right. So the problem here is I don't know what happened yesterday. I remember I saved this code, but now today I'm seeing this. So this is there is some code that we did yesterday. It's missing. Now I want to ask all of you: do you have that code, or I'll share it? No way, right? If you don't have it, I'll write it out and I'll share it. Okay. If you have it, right, can you please paste it here in the chat? uh, any language except Java and C++. Why? No, he would have told any language, Java, like Java or C++, like not except, right? Java and C++ are the basic languages. Java is mandatory. It's beautiful. Okay. Is it there here? Let me see. Yeah, thank you. So, whoever pasted the link, I don't see the name, but yeah, thank you. I don't know what happened. So this there in the link, but it's not there for me. Wow. Paste it over here. Okay, great. I see the code back. So it was good idea to ask all of you. Is AccioJob DSA enough for you? So it's more than what's required for a job, right? So we will be learning a lot more than what's required. Even like this time we have started an advanced DSA, which is like if you want to, like you will prepare you till job, right, where you will be eligible for job, and still you want to learn a lot, right? Still you want to uh, learn a lot of DSA. You know that okay, I am understanding this. This is something I want to get very strong, right? So that we have started one additional module that you can optionally take, right? You'll spend one more additional month, so that will be even more, like even if you have here for a job which requires very complicated coding, so you will be able to do it, right? Chalo. Okay. First of all, did you all solve the assignments? Yes, no, partially, कुछ भी करा नहीं करा? No. Why are you not solving assignments? Tell me. See, if you are attending the sessions and if you're not solving assignment, do you know that if you don't solve 50% of assignments, you will be not eligible for the exam? You will not get the test link. You will not be getting the test links. Where are the assignments still now difficult? So if else assignments, how difficult it can be? It will be easier, right? They will not be very much difficult. Okay. So there are multiple options of how you can opt to. So it's difficult. So it's okay. If it's difficult, do you know there is a doubt session that runs throughout the day? We run that for all of you. There is a doubt session that runs in the morning, in the afternoon, even after the session is over at 11. Do any one of you join that? क्या कोई join करता है? For those of you specifically who are putting the assignment is difficult. Why don't you join that, right? Why don't you join? Why don't you ask specific question that can you solve this particular question? I am having doubt. I am having doubt. Can you solve this exact question? Join the morning one, join the late night one, whichever one you are comfortable. That's why we have organized it throughout the day. Join the evening one, right? How to join? So there is a link in your platform itself which you can use. Let me give you a that. This will show you that. Here, can you see join live sessions, right? Which is this live sessions run from in the morning 11 to 1. It runs from evening 6 to 8. It runs in the night as well 11 to 12. Do you see this? Right. So here, like everything is there in the portal, right? There's all things are there. These are like we have not created like this images. So यहाँ पे कुछ ऐसे image जैसा नहीं रख दिया, right? These are active buttons, right? You can click on it. You can join it. You can join the Discord to ask your doubt. Is code of the day mandatory? So that is something which will help you get that scholarship, right? If you like enter the course, you get a good discount and a good scholarship if you solve that. Okay. Okay, I'll take your doubts. I'll take your doubts. Don't worry, I'll take them at the end. So let me complete first what I am intending to complete today, and then I'll take your doubts. So what I want to complete today is loops. Okay, loops is something which I want to complete today for completely. Okay, so hold your seatbelts tight. Let's jump into loops. So today's initial session was very easy, right? It was a very big, very good intro for you to for interviews, resume, all those things. Okay, so let's come to this. Okay, now, so we understood data types, we understood variables, we understood conditional programming, that if there is a condition, we can run certain things. If there is not a condition, we'll not run. If the condition is false, we'll not run this, and so on, right? Now, we also understood about logical operator, relational operators, and so on. Loops are OOPS concept? No, loop is not a OOPS concept. So this is the first time I noticed there is a OOPS in the loop. Okay. Now what is that is remaining? So let's say I tell you to print hello. So you'll say, so this is an easy task. I'll write system.out.println hello. This is an easy thing. I'll write system.out.println, it will print hello. But if I tell you to print hello 5 times, you'll say, easy, sir, I know Control C, Control V. I'll print it 5 times. Acha. Now, if I tell you to print it 20 times, what will you do? You'll say, again, easy. I'll copy these 5 lines. I'll print it 4 times. So this is 20 lines, right? Yes. But what if I tell you to print it 100 times, 1 million times, right? What will you do if I tell you to print it 1 million times? Don't you think this is not a good way to do this work? Write something, copy paste, right? 1 million times, will you do this? No, you will not do this, right? So if I have some work, if I have a fixed work that I want to do again and again and again, right? So I don't want to work like a person who doesn't know computer. I want to work like a person who is smart, right? Who thinks smartly. So for that, we have a thing known as loop. So what does loop do? So we understood if, right? So what we had in if we wrote a if, we had a condition, and we have a condition, and then we had a body, right? What I call this part as body of if. Do you remember? Is this as the body of if? So we have if, the condition, and body of if, right? When was the body of if running? Body of if used to run if the condition is true. Agar condition true hota tha, body of if used to run. Okay. Now similar to this, we have a loop. We call it as for, and we have body of loop. Okay. Now in loop also we'll have a condition and we'll run the body of loop. There is one difference. There is one difference. What is the difference? If the condition is true, body runs only once. This used to run only once. if condition is there to run something based on a condition once. But here I can run it multiple times. This runs multiple times until condition is true. जब तक condition true होता है, it runs multiple times. So if is there to run something once, loop is there to run something multiple times. Okay, make sense? Okay. If is there to run something only once. Okay, whatever you write inside it will run only once. Whatever you write inside loop, that will keep on running again and again and again. Okay. So I'll give you examples. That time it will become more clear of what I am talking about. Okay. So let me do this. So we have a if condition, we have a loop. So what is a loop? How does a loop look like? So in loop we have 4 parts, right? We have first part is initialization, then we have condition, and then we have updation, and finally we have a body. Kya parts hain? We have initialization, we have condition, we have updation, and finally we have a body. Initialization, condition, updation, body. 4 parts are loop ke. Okay. How these 4 parts run? Okay. Do you remember the rules to run a program? I gave you 2 rules. We run the initialization. Can you put that in chat? Or if you forgot, line by line. Yes. So you run it line by line, not left to right. You run it step by step, line by line, right? 1 step at a time, 1 line at a time, right? And the second rule was to never forget this first rule, right? If you forget the first rule, you'll make mistake. So how we run this loop? We run the initialization, then we run the condition, okay? Then we run the body, then we run the updation. How we run it? Initialization, condition, body, updation. Initialization, condition, body, updation. After updation, we again go to the condition, again to the body, and then we continue this updation, condition, body, updation, condition, body, until when we will continue. We'll continue this until the condition does not become false. जब तक condition true है, तब तक continue करेंगे. Until when the condition is true, we'll continue. Once the condition becomes false, we'll stop. We'll say, okay, done. I will not run it anymore. Okay. So let me give you one example and show you how this runs. So let's say we write a for loop. Okay. We write for int I is equals to 0, I is less than. Sorry. Let's start with 1. I is less than equals to 10, I plus plus. I equals to I plus. Okay. So what I did, I wrote 4 parts, and then in the body, what I wanted to do, I wanted to print hello 10 times, right? So let me write hello. Now look at this, how this will work. Okay, look at this, how this runs. So it will, yeah. I'll go very easy. This is easiest part. If you understand this part, it is very easy. If you just have to understand this one line, loop is done. ये एक line समझना है, you will understand how to run this. Now listen to me very carefully for next 5 minutes and put all your attention, all your focus that you have, all your energy that you have left out for the day into this. I know all of you are sad because India lost. Okay, leave that apart, right? Be happy. Okay, we'll win the World Cup next time. So come back to you. Okay. Okay, I'll explain what is I plus 1, what it came from. So what I told you, run it line by line. So firstly we'll do initialization. सबसे पहले क्या run करना है? Initialization. What is the first thing that we want to run? We want to run initialization. Distracting. So initialization, what will happen? Int I equals to 1, right? Int I equals to 1. So you'll put I equals to 1. Yes, done. Initialization is done. We created a variable where we put the value 1. Easy. Everyone understands this? Is this something new? No, we have done it hundreds of times till now. Okay, so this is something which we understand. What is the next thing that we have done? I less than equals to 10. What is the next thing that we want to run? Condition. So we'll check. What is I? 1. 1 is less than equals to 10. Is it true or false? So this is true. Yes. This is true. 1 is less than equals to 10. This is true. How this is false? This is true, right? After condition, what we do? We are running the body. After the condition, we'll run the body, right? In the body, what we have? In the body, what we have? We have hello. So we print hello. Are you seeing this? Initialization, condition, then body. In the body, we are printing hello. We printed hello once. Then we printed hello once. Understood everyone till here how initialization, condition, and body wala part work? I just ran 3 steps. You all know these 3 things. This is nothing new. That you know how what this is, you know what this is, relational operator, you know what this system.out.println is. Now, what is the next thing? Updation. What happens in updation? We have written I is equals to I plus 1. Now, what is this? What is I plus 1? What is I's value right now? 1. So I have written 1 plus 1. What is 1 plus 1? 2. So it will change. And where I have put this value? I have put this value back in I. So it will change I from 1 to 2. Yes. So I have changed I from 1 to 2. Yes or no? Right? It got updated. Now, once updation is done, what do? We again check the condition. Is the condition true? Now, right now, check again. Is the condition still true? We'll check is 2 less than 10. Is it true or false? It is true. We again go to the body. Condition is true. After condition, we go to the body. We print hello again. And then we'll after printing body, we again go to updation. We'll again increase. So now it will do I equals to I plus 1. What is I value right now? 2 plus 1. It will become 3. We'll put 3 into I. I will change to 3. Now we'll check is 3 less than 10. Yes. We'll print hello. Till when this will be true? Now take a guess. Till when it will be true? It will be true till 4 less than 10, 5 less than 10, 6, 10 less than equals to 10. It will be true. So it will print hello for 10 times. Right? It will print 10 times from 1 to 10. Yes. And then finally, what it will do? After printing this, we'll again update. When I is equals to 10, I'll again update 10 plus 1. It will become 11. Now, after changing it to 11, I'll again check here. Is 11 less than equals to 10? Now it will say no. This is not. This is false. And we will move out of it. Once this thing becomes false, we move out of the loop and we come to the next line. Whatever, if there is anything here, we'll run it. If there is nothing, we'll break there. We'll stop there. Loop stops. Got it? How to run a loop? This is the way to run a loop. Always run it in this order. Initialization, condition, body, updation. I call it as ICBU cycle. Okay. We can remember this as ICBU cycle, where we run the initialization once and then condition, body, updation keeps on happening. So you have condition, body, updation. How these 3 things run? So you go from condition to body, from body to updation, and then again back to condition. Again, this cycle will keep on continuing, and until the condition is true, it will keep on running. Once the condition becomes false, we'll move out of the loop. Got it? Easy? Clear? Make sense? Let's run this. I look like Hardik Pandya. Okay, chalo, I played well today. Oh, that's why I was saying, yes, someone commented you played well. Acha. Got it? So you're saying 10 hellos. Yes? Make sense? चलो एक बार हिंदी में बताते हैं, चलो ठीक है. I'll cover once in हिंदी. देखो लूप क्या है? लूप बेसिकली एक तरीका है जिससे हम कोई भी एक स्टेटमेंट, कोई भी एक कोड को बार बार रन कर सकते हैं. राइट? वो बार बार रन करना है कोई भी एक कोड को, किसी भी एक चीज को तो बार बार रन कर सकते हैं. उसके लिए हम लूप लिखते हैं. लूप में क्या होता है ना, 4 मेजर पार्ट है. एक तो हो गया इनिशियलाइजेशन, एक हो गया कंडीशन, एक हो गया अपडेशन, एक हो गया बॉडी. सबका अपना अपना रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, रोल है. क्या रोल है? इनिशियलाइजेशन क्या करता है ना, लाइक जस्ट लाइक एक वेरिएबल में एक वैल्यू रखना, बस वही काम है उसका, ठीक है। कंडीशन क्या करता है कि चेक करता है, अगर मैं ट्रू हूं तो मैं बॉडी में जाऊंगा, अगर मैं फॉल्स हूं तो मैं बॉडी में नहीं जाऊंगा, बस यही काम करता है कंडीशन, ठीक है। अच्छा, अगर कंडीशन ट्रू है तो हम बॉडी में जाते हैं, अगर कंडीशन फॉल्स है तो नहीं जाते। मान लो कंडीशन ट्रू है, हम बॉडी में चले गए, बॉडी में जो था हमने रन कर दिया, प्रिंट कर दिया जो भी था, ठीक है। उसके बाद क्या करते हैं, उसके बाद हम अपडेशन पे जाते हैं, चेक करते हैं कि क्या करना है यहाँ पे, जो भी यहाँ लिखा है उस हिसाब से अपडेट कर देंगे, एंड देन फिर हम वापस से कंडीशन चेक करेंगे, क्या अपडेशन के बाद फिर से कंडीशन ट्रू है, अगर है तो फिर हम बॉडी में जाके प्रिंट करेंगे, जो भी है बॉडी में उसको रन करेंगे, फिर वापस अपडेशन कंडीशन बॉडी, अपडेशन कंडीशन बॉडी, ये से चलता रहेगा। कब तक चलेगा, जब तक कंडीशन फॉल्स नहीं हो, जब तक, अगर कंडीशन फॉल्स हो गया हम बोल देंगे भाई हो गया काम खत्म। इनिशियलाइजेशन एक बार रन करता है, उसके बाद कंडीशन बॉडी अपडेशन कंटिन्यू होता रहता है, ये साइकिल में चलता रहता है। कब तक चलेगा, जब तक कंडीशन फॉल्स नहीं हो जाती, ठीक है, बस वही है। ओके, हाँ, got it, first you tell me, did you get the basics of loop, why it is there, you played well in programming, ठीक है। हाँ, probably you don't win in programming as well, क्योंकि programming में भी हम नहीं जीत रहे। Do you know who is the best coder in what's the name of the best coder? Do you know there is a Olympics for programming? There is a competition which is like the Olympics of programming, which is known as ICPC. Has anyone of you heard of this competition, ICPC? No one? Okay. So this is known as the Olympics of programming. Okay. Okay. There is a person. His name is Eric. Okay. His goes by the also name Tourist. Is all the places and all the coding platforms. His name is Tourist. Okay. He has won this competition, I guess, 6 times or 5 times, 5 to 6 times continuously. Like it's winning Olympic gold 5, 6 times continuously. Okay. So this is a competition where every country represents. He belongs to Russia, I guess. He even mentored 3 students who went on to win ICPC. Okay, he's like the Michael Phillips of coding. Chalo, okay, let's move forward. Look for that thing. Okay, look for that. That's yeah. Do you know? I'll tell you an interesting story about him. He got a package of, I guess, 42 crores offer from Google. Okay, he got a package of 42 crores from Google, and he rejected it. He told that I'm like, I like myself doing coding, so I'll not work for you. I guess so. So we are talking about lakhs of packages. He got that package, right? So being good at something, being very good at something can earn you a lot of things, right? India ever won? So I don't remember India has ever won ICPC. So the best rank that I remember we got was, I guess, 4 or 5. Okay. So understood loops. Chalo, let's play around with loops. Let's solve a few things. Okay. Let's say we want to print all numbers from 1 to 100. How will we do? So 1 to 100 we want to run. So we'll start with 1. We'll go to 100. We'll do I equals to I plus 1. What we want to print? System.out.println. Yes. I. So we can print I inside the loop. See, I is just like a variable, right? So we can print it. We can use it inside the loop. Its value is changing every time loop runs. See, every time loop runs, I changes its value to something new. I changes its value to something new, something new, something new. So every time we run, this value changes from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 4. And when we are printing it, it is printing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the order, right? Difference between I plus plus and I plus 1. So I plus plus is a shortcut way. I'll explain I plus plus. Got it? How can you print? I'll give you one question for all of you. If you understood this, then I'll give you one question. Can you print all the even numbers from 1 to 100? So this the terminal that I'm using is online GTP. How will you print all the even numbers? Yes, we'll use if. We can use a if condition. Before printing, we can use a if condition. If I% is 2 double equals to 0, we'll write system dot out dot println I. So if this is true, if we can divide I, then we'll print it. If the result is 0, then we'll print it. Otherwise, we will not. Let's see. Now, are you seeing only the even numbers? Yes, makes sense. So we are using a if inside a for loop, right? Acha. What if I want to print odd numbers? How will I change it? How will I change it for odd numbers? See, for those who you are having doubts now, please put it in chat. I will never be able to know if you are having doubts and if facing any difficulty to understand. So I will not be able to know, right? If you want me to repeat, tell me that. Right? Batao to mere ko. Got it? Easy. Even odd क्या होता है? What is even and odd? Even is a number that's divisible by 2. Odd is a number that's not divisible by 2. Someone told us a smart way to do this. Right? Can you so let me explain one more time. Okay. Okay. So what a loop is basically something that runs a statement again and again. Now how it runs on a logic. So we start from a point, we go to check the condition. If the condition is true, we'll keep on running. We have a updation so that we keep on changing the value of I. Okay. So what we are doing here, so we are having I equals to 1. Okay. We are checking is I less than 100. Yes, it is. So we are going to the body. We are checking is I, which is 1. 2 से divisible है क्या? We are having I equals to 1. I is equals to 1. ठीक है, हमारे पास I equals to 1 है. We are checking, we are going inside, we are checking is 1% is 2 double equals to 0. Is this true? No, this is not. This is false. So are we doing anything? No, we will not run this bracket. Okay. We will go to increase I. We'll increase it to 2. And then we'll check is 2% is 2 double equals to 0. Yes, this is true. So we'll go inside, we'll print this. We are printing. Achha, we are seeking not equal to. Okay. So when we'll check equal to, we will print 2. We'll print 4, we'll print 6 and so on. Right? जब even print करना है तो यहाँ पे equal to add कर दो. जब odd print करना है तो not equal to add कर दो. Right? So when we are having equal to, it will print 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. Got it? So now you're seeing 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. Make sense? Easy. So let's do one more thing. Now let's solve a few questions over here. So we did print all even numbers. Okay, we did print all odd numbers. Can we do it in a smart way? So can we do it in some other way? So can we start our loop from 2 and can we go till 100 and instead of increasing it by 1, can I increase it by 2? Will this do the same work or it will not do the same work? Take a guess, think it through, not a guess, right? Think it will do the same work, right? Let's say if I run it, so it starts with 2, it increases by 2 every time. It increases by 2, 2, 4, 6, 8. Now there is one question to all of you. Okay? How many times the first loop is running? How many times the second loop is running? So we have 2 methods to solve the same problem. How many times this is running? How many times this is running? We have method 1. Just tell me how many times method 1 is running, how many times method 2 is running. Method 1 is running 100 times. Loop runs 100 times. Method 2 runs 50 times. Loop runs 50 times. Which of them is fast? Method 1 or method 2? This is fast. This is slow. We have more lines, right? वो 100 बार run कर रहा है, ये 50 बार run कर रहा है, तो obviously second one will be faster. How this is running 50 times? See, we are starting with 2. we are increasing to 2. So I started with 2, I changed its value to 4, 6, 8, 10. It is working this way. In the first method, how was I starting? 1. We were changing to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, are you seeing the difference? They started with 1, it was increasing by 1 every time. It is increasing by 2 every time. I'll tell you printing times, don't worry. Got it? So this is fast. Okay, for now, the speed does not matter, but yeah, gradually you will learn a lot about making your code better, writing faster things. Okay. Acha. Do you know, how can you, have I taught you string concatenation? Have I taught you something known as string concatenation? Yes or no? Yes, no. No. Okay, chalo. Let me tell you that. So what, okay. So I told you about arithmetic operators. Do you remember arithmetic operators? Yes. So there is one arithmetic operator that works on strings as well. Okay. So there is one arithmetic operator actually that works on string. So for example, you can add 2 strings, which is that arithmetic operator. So you can add 2 strings, S1 plus S2. Okay. What this will do? What do you think this will do? This will add both the strings. Hello world. It will make it hello world. Are you seeing hello world? Okay. Why are you not seeing space? Because there is no space in the string. What if I want to add a space? So let's add a space as well. So the plus arithmetic operator also works on strings. What it does, it joins 2 strings. वो 2 strings को join कर देता है, makes it a single string. ठीक है? So the plus arithmetic operator works on strings. It makes 2 strings into a single string. ठीक है? Makes sense? Do other arithmetic operator works? Can I use a minus? Can I use a multiplication instead of it? No. You cannot use C. For example, if I write minus, it does not make sense. So it will say you error that this is bad operator. You cannot use a minus. You cannot use a multiplication. You cannot use anything else, but you can use plus. Now, why is this of any use to us? ये हमारे लिए किस काम का है? चलो, let me show you why this is of use to us. Okay. So let's say you have int a is equals to 5. You have string s is equals to hello. Okay. You want to print both of them in a single line. So do you remember what this is? So we can do a plus s and it will print this. It will literally print this. Are you seeing 5 hello? If you want to put a space in between, you can add a space in between. No, if you do a multiplication, that is not going to work, right? A into 5, s into 5, that is not going to work. So I think we can use append, right? That yes. So this thing is known as string concatenation. This thing is known as string concatenation. I told you, right? Programmers were very fancy things. They did not have very complicated things like medical students. So they created their own things which looked complicated. So if I tell you I do string concatenation, you'll say, yes, I'm doing something like which is very, very difficult. But I'm basically doing string addition. So this means string addition. Okay. So programmers gave very, very good names to things which are very simple. One for it to okay, I'll help you to loop through characters. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Pallavi, I'll solve that thing. Don't worry. Chalo, understood this. So what is this? This is string concatenation. You can join 2 strings. See, listen to me. I'm saying doubt from different topic. I don't want to diverge much. Listen to me. So what is this? This is string concatenation. What you can do is you can join 2 strings, right? So what is this? This is string concatenation or string addition. Simply string addition. There is arithmetic operator addition which works on string as well. You can add 2 strings, right? You can join 2 strings You can how this what is the use of this? You can join two things and print it. If you have a float variable, let's say you have a float result, float f is equal to 10.5f. Okay, you want to print it after this, you can print it plus space f. Okay, so it will join these three as strings and it will print it. So this addition works on strings and we can print it. See. Okay. Now there is a question to print the table. Will you be all able to print a table? So what you have to write? How can you print a table? Let's say I want to print the table of 2. So what I will need to do? The table of 2 till 10. So I'll do I is equals to 1, I is less than equals to 10, I equals to I plus 1. Okay. So what I need to print each line, system dot out dot println. I want to do 2 plus I want to write a multiplication into plus I plus equals to plus S2 into I. Will this solve the problem? So let me show you the result and then you can see how this is coming. I seeing the table of 2. So I'm writing 2. So it is giving me 2. Multiplication. I value was initially 1. So I got 1 equals to 2 into 1. So 2 into 1 is equals to 2. Okay. Now you can, instead of 2, you can put this value from scanner, take an input from scanner, put this value over here instead of 2. I'll not take string function for now. Okay. Just see of how this is working. See, so I've written 2 instead of 2. You can take a value from user. Take a user take value mount. Okay, n is equals to, let's say sc dot next int. Whatever value an user gives, for that we'll create the table. Okay, we'll write n into I is equals to n into I. Okay, if I run this, it will wait for me to give the input. Previous videos are available in the portal, right? Okay, let me give the input as 5. See, are you seeing the table of 5 written in a very good, nice way, displayed to you? I'll not take code of the day problems here. Easy, understood? We wrote loops to find out even numbers, find out odd numbers. We can print table as well, right? Chalo, let's do one more thing. Let's solve one more question. It will take 20 minutes and then we can jump to the next part. Equal to क्यों लगा? Equal to was just this, right? I just put it over here. यहाँ पे equal to print करने के लिए लिखा. Okay, it is written in double quotes. What I told you about system.out.println. Anything written inside double quote will be printed as it is. So this is written inside double quote will be printed as it is. This is written inside double quote will be printed as it is. It is string. वो as it is print होता है. उसको कुछ नहीं होता. When I write n, it will try to look for the value of n. It will print it. When I write I, it will look for the value of I. It will print it. When I write n into I, it will calculate the value of n into I and it will print it. What is? Tell me about dark web. Got it? Understood? Easy peasy. How to do encryption using loop? Is it possible? ASCII value hint. ASCII value will not take up. Chalo. Next question. Let's move to the next question, everyone. Okay. Okay. Everyone, firstly, tell me, understood what I'm trying to teach. See, I know that you are giving me concept of nested loop. You want me to cover ASCII. You want me to cover a lot of things. But I have a fixed thing which will be asked to you in the interview, which will be asked to you in the online exam. So I want to complete that. Once we complete that, we will take anything that is left to cover. Okay. No worries, no worries. Right. I know that like you have doubts, you want to learn. So if it's good that you are learning, reading topics out of your own, you are asking doubts, you are putting those things, you want to learn. So that's a good thing. That is a very good thing that you're showing. I know, right? I wished I had more than 12 days, right? So I could have taught you, right, for more than 12 days. Right. But I have a limited time. We want to clear that interview, right? When you come to a main batch, you have so much time. Will have so much time to spend. Why n gives 5 table? Because I gave that value 5, right? I gave the value 5. So I gave the input as 5. And if I give any other input, it will give that particular value table. I will not take the code of the day's questions now. Okay. You'll probably be able to solve it after a few sessions. Or like, yeah, there's a very good site known as google.com. How many of you use this? Do you use it? Yes. Okay. And did you try to Google things up when you face doubts, when you face difficulty to learn? Do you Google things up? So this is a very good skill, right? Usually you'll see software developers writing things like Googling. I have written this thing in my resume. My skills include Googling things up, right? So as an engineer, you should know how to Google things up. Okay. So let's move to the next question, which is, so let's say we have a number. We want to find factors of a number. Can you help me find factors of a number? What is the smallest factor of a number? What is the smallest factor that a number has? 1. 1 is the smallest factor. What is the largest factor that a number has? So the smallest factor is 1. Largest factor is the number itself. So where my loop should start until where it should go? You all tell me where my loop should start until where it should go. What is a factor? Factor is a number factor is any number that divides the number. So factor is a number that divides the number. So my loop will start from 1 and it will go till the number, right? So let's say I have a number n. Okay. So let me put a number. Let's say int n is equals to sc dot next int. Okay. And I can do I is equals to I plus 1. Got it? So any number in between the smallest number and the number itself, in between the smallest factor, that is 1 and itself, any number between 1 and n can be the factor of the number. Yes. Can we use I plus? Yes, you can use it. Right. So I can do n percentage I. If this number divides n, then it is a factor. So I can print system.out.println I. Okay. Let's say I want to run this. And I gave it a value input, which is 8. So are you seeing all the factors of 8 getting printed? Now, how this is working? So let's take pen and paper. Let's try to do this. So we have I, which is having initial value 1. Everyone agrees this? We have a I, which has an initial value 1. Yes or no? Now, why the if condition? I'll say. Now we go to the condition. What is the value of n? N is having a value 8. We gave the value 8 to n. Now what I'm checking, 1 is less than equals to 8. Is it true or false? So this is true. Yes. 1 is less than equals to 8. This is true. Now we come inside the body. Inside the body, what we do? We are checking if 1 divides 8. So what we are checking? 8% is 1 double equals to 0. Is it true? Yes, this is true. So print 1. Are you seeing 1? So we are printing 1. We are seeing 1. Everyone understood this? We declared I1. We checked the condition was true. We entered the loop. We checked if this is true. Yes, we printed it. Next, what we do? We write updation. We increase I will change its value to 2. Now, these two things will change. We'll check the condition and this thing will change. We'll check, is 2 less than 8? Yes, it is 2. Now we'll check, is 8 divisible by 2? Yes, it is 2. We'll print 2 as well. Okay. Now, we'll increase I will become 3. And then we'll change it. I became 3, will change. Is 3 less than 8? Yes, this is true. Is 3 dividing 8? No, this is false. So if the if condition is false, do we run this part? We don't run this part. We do not run this part. So do you see any 3 over here? We don't. So we are seeing no 3 over here. 3 is not here. Got it? Can we loop a message? Yes, we can. Now again, we'll increase it. It will become 4. We'll check is 4 less than 8. We'll check 4 divides 8. Yes, it is true. We'll print 4. We'll check for 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, 8 will divide 8. We'll print 8. Are you seeing how the factors are coming up? How are we printing the factors of 8? Make sense? Don't worry, Ritam, right? In case you're late, this is recorded, so you can watch the recording as well. See, okay. So let me explain this once last time. So we are starting with I is equals to 1. Okay. We are checking is I less than n, I is less than 1 is less than 8, so on. And then we are checking the condition. If condition we are checking is 8% 1 double equals to 0. Is this true or false? So this is true. So we print I. What is that we print? We print 1. Math exams plus Java compiler 100. Yes. If we use it, so this is like the calculator, right? This is more advanced version of calculator. So if you have, then we check 8% 2. We will increase I will increase to 2. We'll check is 2 less than 8. Yes. We'll again enter 2 less than 8 is there. We again enter, right? And then we again check. Is it true? Yes, this is true. So we print 2 and so on. See, जो भी है ना, it will follow this I, C, B, U. This thing will be followed. You just run it in this order and you'll get the result. If you run this in using this, you will never make mistakes in loop. Just you have to focus, you have to run it using this I, C, B, U. Right? Initialization, condition, body updation, and then from updation to condition. You'll keep on continuing this, you'll not make mistakes. Got it? It looks easy. If you don't practice, you will make hard, right? The programmers very often forget things if you do not practice, right? So I keep on doing this, so that's why I remember. If I do not do programming for a year, I will probably forget. So what is mean by is equal to 0? So it checks if this whatever result is there giving by whatever result is coming out of this operation. So we work kar rahe hum, whatever is the result that we are getting from this, is it equal to 0? Yes or no? Okay. So they printed all the factors. Now, can we count all the factors? Can we count all the factors? Can we count? How will we count? So let's take an initial count value as 0. Okay. We take an initial count as 0. And whenever we find a factor, we can increase it by 1. And after we are done counting all the factors, we can print it. So let me print it as okay, let me run this. So what I've done, I took a count as 0. Why 0? Because I thought ki chalo, let's say we have no factors. I initially assumed that there is no factors. So this is 0. Okay. So I took the count as 0. Every time I found a factor, where did I find a factor? So every time this condition is true, I found a factor. So I'm increasing the count by 1. जब भी मुझे एक factor मिलता है, मैं count को 1 से increase कर देता हूँ. That's it. And then we are printing. So every time I find a factor, I increase the count and I print the count. Simple. Easy, makes sense. Yes. Can you count the factors? Now tell me what is the prime number. Can you tell me what is the prime number? What is the prime number? What is the definition of a prime number? We learned this in standard 5 class, right? Did you understand? Did you like attend that class or you bunked it? In school, we did not used to bunk, right? Rough solution. So prime number is a number which has two factors, right? So what is the count of factors of a prime number? What is the count of factors of a prime number? Is it two? So count of factors of a prime number is two, right? So prime number is a number that has only two factors, one and itself. Right? So if I just check if the count is double equals to 2, then I can say it is prime, or otherwise it is not prime. Do I need to do anything else? So I found out the count. If the count of factors is 2, then I'll say, you know what, this is a prime number. Otherwise, I'll say it is not prime. Easy. Achha. So is this a prime number? So this is the count of factors is 6. So it is telling not prime. Chalo, let me put a new thing. Let me put 17. So the count is 2. So it is prime. So for prime number, the count will always come out to be 2. Prime number के लिए count क्यों 2 आएगा? Because it has only two factors, one and itself. If there is more than two factors, then it is for sure not a prime number. Okay. If it is a prime number, then the count is count is 2. Okay. Did not understand? Confusing. See, what is a prime number? Firstly, tell me what is a prime number. A prime number is a number that has only two factors, right? So what is a prime number? Prime number has only two factors. What are these two factors? It doesn't matter. What are these two factors? It is one in itself, right? So I counted all the factors including one in itself. I counted all the factors of the number including one in itself, right? All the factors between 1 and n. Now, if the final result comes out to be 2, after counting all the factors from 1 to n, if I found that the count is only 2, that means what does it mean? It is a prime number. For example, when I counted all the factors for 17, so I got only two factors, 1 and 17. The count is 2. So I print that it is prime. What is CT? CT is a variable that stores the count. You can take this variable as count as well. So count naam se bhi le, right? It doesn't matter what name you are giving. It is just a variable. Got it? So the way to test how where your curly bracket ends is, see, whenever you open it, better to end it that time, right? So that you don't have to count them and you don't have to end them. So you will always see me writing this way. So I write if, right? And I don't start a curly bracket and I write keep on continuing. See, as soon as I start, I also end the curly bracket as well. When I start karta na, I also end it. So I don't have to remember the time. So if there is anything, I'll write it over here. Type of substitute hint, chalo, I'll give you at the end. I'll give you that at the end. Understood count of factors, prime factor, count of factor, prime factor. I solved 3 questions for all of you. Okay, on the same. So one last thing I'll solve, then I'll give you 2 minutes break. Okay. Can you tell me how to find the sum of all the factors? Sum of all the factors. Sum of all the factors. So to thoda sa think for a minute. Think for a second. Sum of all the factors. Add I. So let's say I will have a sum which is initially 0. Okay. How do I update it? How do I change it? What is the factor inside this? Inside this, what is factor? And I count, what is the factor of the number? N is the factor. N is the number. What is the factor? Factor kya hai? I factor hai. Everyone agrees. I is the factor. I is the factor of number. What we are printing when we are printing the factor? We are printing I. So I factor होगा ना? जब हम factor print कर रहे तो हम I print कर रहे. So I factor है. Count क्या है? Count तो बस store कर रहा है. The number of factor it has. So I is the factor of n. So what we need to add, if I tell you to find the sum of factors, sum में add I करेंगे, will it give me the sum of factors? Can we print this, that this is the sum of factors? Let's run this. Bouncer. Acha. So let's put a value 12. So we are seeing these are the factors of 12. This is the count of the factors and this is the sum of factors. Makes sense. And it is printing, it is not prime as well. Okay. Makes tangent over my head. Acha. Okay. So that's the funniest comment for the day. Overload ho gaya. Okay. See, I run it step by step. See, what I am doing is I am simply playing with this thing that I have created. So I created a thing that finds out the factor. Now I told, okay, can we add the count of factors? So I told, okay, let's create a variable which will store 0. Every time I'm finding a factor, I'll increase the count by 1. Okay? And we'll print the count. Okay? So I told, okay, chalo, this was not fun. Let's create one more thing which can find out the sum of factors. What we did, we found out the sum. We created a sum as 0. Whenever we found a factor, we added I to that sum. जो भी sum आ रहा, we added I to it, right? And then we print that this is the sum. Now you can verify that all the factors that we got, add them up and you'll see the sum. Right? So we found out the count of factors, we found out the sum of factors, we found out the factors of the number. If the count is 2, then we printed, okay, it is a prime number. So we did a lot of things in this. Chalo, if you got it, if you got, see, tell me if you got 50% of it. Factors को समझ आया, factors क्या होता है? Count थोड़ा सा idea लगा, sum थोड़ा सा idea लगा, थोड़ा सा 50% of it, everyone. ठीक है. Watch this part again, right? In the recording, watch this part again. In the recording, go through like. Watchable, yes, you can go through this, read this code, run it line by line. It will make more sense. Okay, if you practice it, it will become easier. If you keep on practicing, things keep on becoming easy. If you don't practice, things. So there is only one last thing that I want to cover today. So I'll give you a quick 2 minutes break. I know that you like your brains are going overflow. I'll just take the chat for that time. Okay. How can we find highest common factor by using loop? So take that as an assignment. Find the highest common factor and lowest common factor. LCF and SCF. How to take any number of input using loop. Just write it, just take a variable and take, right? Just take in 10 inside in 10 equals to sc dot next int. Every time it will take a new value and put it into n. Every time the loop runs. Print n natural numbers. So what you have to do, I showed you to print 100 natural numbers. You just have to change it, right? You just have to take a user input n and just replace it over here. Instead of 100, you just change it to n. Take an input from user, just change it to n. For and while loop, all the loops are same. Okay? There is only one difference between do while loop. So that I'll explain. Don't worry. All the loops do the same work. They run again and again to get some work done. How will count fetch from loop? How will count fetch from loop? So the count that we have created is outside the loop. See, count outside the loop. Right? So we increment it and then we are printing it. So after the loop is done, we'll have the final count, right? Final count is this. Understood? I can do all of them separately, but my point to do it together is to show you that it's the same logic. Logic same hai. You have just to add few things, remove certain things. Electricity bill program, that is easy one. Acha, how many of you have ever calculated your electricity bill from the bill that you get? Electricity bill aata hoga ghar mein, right? Have you ever calculated that this is the number of units? How do you pay electricity bill? There is different slabs, right? And if you have ever done it, you will be able to do that, solve that problem. If you have never done it, you will face problems. So today, if you have not done it, go check your electricity bill, right? Find out, look out where that bill is lying around, and then try to calculate the bill, right? Don't forget about code, try to calculate it yourself. Take a look for that electricity bill, try to calculate it for yourself, right? And then come back to code. Then you will be able to for sure solve that question. Staircase problem, I'll solve the assignment questions. Don't worry, right? I'll solve it. Okay. Tomorrow we'll complete loops, and Saturday we'll solve all assignment questions. Okay. So this one program finished with execute 0. So here it tells that the program ran. We reached till here. So that's why it is telling program finished. If it would have seen some error, so we would have seen a red color error. Okay. So let's move to the last part for today. Then I'll give you a break. Okay. I know you are here for like 3 hours and you need some rest. You need some break. Chalo, let's complete the last part. So initially I told you, right, there are 4 parts in a loop, right? We have I equals to 0, I is less than equals to 10, I plus plus. We have 4 parts in a loop. Okay. And we print system dot out dot println. We print I. Okay, print hello, whatever we want. And we run it in a ICBU cycle. Okay, initialization, condition, body, updation. ICBU. Okay. Everyone will remember the term ICBU cycle. Can you write it once in the chat? ICBU, so that you all do not forget it. Right? This is how you run. Okay. Okay. I'll explain what I plus plus means. Don't worry. As a lecture of recording show old video, it should show the current video, it should not show the old video. I'll check if it is showing the old video. There are old videos in the Discord. If you want to see the previous pre-course videos, you can see it, but it's the same thing. Right? Whatever is covered there, I am covering all of them over here as well. So I'll check if there is any old videos in the portal, I'll get it corrected. Okay. So we have a ICBU cycle, right? How this thing works. That we have initialization, then we have condition, we see the body, and then we again go to updation. Okay. Now there is one thing. Oh, sorry, Acha, I wrote it I plus plus. We can write it I plus 1. This is the same thing. Okay. This is the same thing. That was the same thing. Sorry for that. Okay. Now, what I am going to explain is all these parts are not compulsory. What will happen if I remove this? If I remove the body, what will happen? There is nothing inside curly bracket. It will not run. You don't see any result. Right? Do you see any result? No output. Yes. What if I remove the updation? What if I remove the updation? What it will do? It will print it infinitely. Why it will print it infinitely? See, it is printing 1 infinitely. Because I value is not changing. I value was 1. It went to condition I, then condition. Condition is true. We go to the body, print 1. There is no updation. We again go to condition. 1 less than 10. Condition is always true. Condition is not becoming false. My system is hanging. Right? My system hanged. Again, in order to run this. Okay. See, so it was keep on running until it will hang my system, or it will like use all the memory of my system, and then it will say, okay, I'm done. Okay. So what happens if I remove the updation? It becomes an infinite loop, right? Are these loops so powerful? Yes, the loops are so powerful. You just show the inside. And what if I remove the condition? So by default, if you do not have any condition, it is true. ठीक है, अगर condition नहीं है तो वो true है. See, are you seeing this? We are increasing it and it keeps on going on. It does not stop. It is printing. ठीक है. Good to prank. Yes. Run a loop in his system will hang, and then you will say ki हाँ. ठीक है. Got it? So if you remove the condition, it becomes infinite loop. If you remove the updation, it becomes infinite loop. Can I move this updation to inside the body? क्या मैं updation को inside the body move कर सकता हूँ? Why it becomes infinite loop? Because if I remove the updation, it was not updating. It was always checking 1 is less than 10. So it was true. When I remove the condition, तो कुछ था ही नहीं, right? This was blank. So the blank thing is by default true. ठीक है? Can I move updation to the body? Yes, we can do it. It will run in the same way. Initialization, condition, then body, right? After running this line, it will update it as well. It will change it to 2. It goes to condition same way. Are you seeing any difference in what it was giving when I wrote it in updation? It was giving the 10, 1 to 10. Now also it is giving. Achha. Can I move this outside? Can I move this outside? So we can do this as well. We can move this key variable to outside of the loop as well, right? Now also it will work the same way. See, it's working the same way. So we have moved I to the outside. We have moved updation to inside. Right? What if we remove the condition? अगर हम condition remove कर देंगे तो क्या होगा? It will become infinite. Again, it will become infinite loop. Right? So it again becomes infinite loop. Why are these two semicolons? See, how Java knows that what is initialization. Anything written between first curly bracket and semicolon is initialization. Anything written between second semicolon and first and second semicolon is condition. Anything written between second semicolon last bracket is updation. So even if you want to skip the initialization, updation, all those things, you still have to put semicolon. Okay, what will happen if I do not put semicolon? Java will tell you that no, there is some mistake, right? See, it is telling error, semicolon was expected. Okay. I've gone through this error so many times, right? Yes, this is probably the biggest errors that we see. Can you explain the count once again, how it works? Achha, I'll explain it. Achha, firstly, tell me, understood this? He understood this? So initially we created a loop which was like a school student. When we used to go to school, we used to have proper shirt, pant, boots, right? Polished. We used to have proper tie and so on. Now this is looking like a college student. His tie is lying around somewhere in the head, right? His boots are like lying around somewhere. He's wearing slippers, right? It's like he's crying, right? So this loop is not looking literally good. So yeah, so look at this loop, which is looking like a sophisticated thing, looks like doing something. This loop is looking like what it is, right? Things lying around here and there. But we can do it, right? You can skip all the 3 parts. What will happen if you skip all the 3 parts? So it's an infinite loop. Okay, if you don't have anything like this, if you don't have anything like this is an infinite loop. If there is nothing inside the loop, right, if you don't write anything inside this, it's saying, oh, I printed it. Let's print hello. Let's run this. Infinite hello, right? So first day we learned to print one hello, and now we are learned to print infinite hellos. Make sense? Why after this is semicolon? So I explained, right? So anything between these two things is initialization. Anything between these two curly bracket is condition. Anything between these two things is updation. Now, even if you don't want to write them, you'll have to write the semicolons for them, right? So that Java knows that you have not written a initialization. Java को पता चलेगा that there is no initialization that you have done. Okay. I see very funny chats. If I open the chat now, probably there there is going to be a stand up, so that could be taken out from the chat. Okay. Okay, understood. I'll go to give you. So this is what I wanted to cover today. Okay. So let me give you one example, right? So or we have 15 minutes. So we'll quickly cover the next thing. I'll give you a hint. Don't worry, I'll give you a hint. So the next thing is while loop. Okay. So what is a while loop? While loop is nothing but it is just a for loop. Just like right, we were in for loop, we had everything like we can write anywhere. In while loop, what we have done, we told that okay, since you're writing it in however way you want, so write it this way. We created one loop where we have initialization outside, where we have condition, where we have body of loop, and if you have updation, you can do it in the body itself. So this is just what we wrote earlier in a different way. Okay. So here in while loop, we have created a loop which works in this way. Is there any difference? There is no difference. See, if I take one, if I write while I is less than equals to 10. Okay. Let's say I want to print it. I can write system.out.println I, and then I can do I is equals to I plus. See, earlier it was becoming infinite loop. So what we did, we created a new loop which is having different rules. Okay. It says you can move the initialization outside, you can move the updation in the body. Only thing that I need is condition. मुझे क्या चाहिए run करने के लिए? Only condition. And this is compulsory. You cannot skip the condition in a while loop. If I skip the condition in a while loop, it will give me error. It will give me error that you have to write the condition. Okay. So if I skip the condition, it becomes infinite loop. So while loop is telling that we have to write the condition. See, while loop, we don't need that semicolons because it is only expecting a condition. उसे बस एक condition चाहिए. जैसे if के अंदर बस एक condition होता था ना, like how if had a single condition, so we just write the condition over here. That's it. The only difference is when there is we don't know. Yes, we use it generally when we don't know the number of iterations. But yeah, it can be both of them can be used however you want. It is optional. You can use a for loop always. You can use a while loop always. Right? There is nothing like you have to use a for loop. You have to use a while loop. Whichever one you feel comfortable, use it. Both of them do the same way, just different way to write it. Okay, whichever way you felt that okay, this is something which I understand. So you use it. So let's find the factor of the number using this while loop. Okay. So let's do the same work. We take a variable. Okay. We can start with what is the lowest factor? 1 till where we want to go. So we want to go till I is less than equals to n. And if n% is I double equals to 0, we want to print this. Okay. Done. After we are done this, we want to increase I. That's it. Let's say if I run this, it will print the factors. Same thing done using while loop. बस different तरीके से लिख दिया मैंने. ठीक है, same thing. Let me give a value 12. Are you seeing all the factors? I'll talk about nested loop. We'll cover tomorrow. Understood? So this is what a while loop is. So while loop is nothing but different way of writing a for loop. Do while loop I'll explain tomorrow. Okay, do while loop I'll explain tomorrow. Today it might be too much for you all. Read infinite number of times. No, I don't think you'll need to watch the recording infinite number of times. I think at max once we'll make it clear. Okay, I'll share the notes. So let me share it right now. You can take this. You can. Let's do one thing. Let me first save this. Then copy this link. I pasted the link in the chat. for everyone. Okay. You can take this link, you can get the code from here. Tomorrow we have class because we have exam. Yes, you have class, you have class. You have class. Classes will be there continuously every day. There is no break in the classes. Understood? Chalo, loops makes 50% understood of loops. If you understood loops in 50% in 2 hours, in 1.5 hours, then it is same timing for Saturday, 8 to 11, right? So that's a very great thing. Probably I learned loops. It took me around weeks to learn at least, because if you learned it in 1 hour, so what better it can be, right? So, okay, now you all will be able to solve the assignment. Don't worry. Let me give you a quick revision of what we did. See, so we started with loops. In loops, we understood that there are 4 parts. I'll give you hints on cipher substitute. Okay, don't worry. So we understood that there are 4 parts: initialization, condition, updation, and body. This runs in the order of ICBU. We solved a few questions, and all of them just did the same work. We just ran this in the order of ICBU. That's it. Okay. We saw how to find factors. We saw how to print even numbers, how to print odd numbers, how to count the factors, how to print the sum of factors, right? And so on. We saw the while loop, where we saw, okay, it is nothing but the same different way of writing the same thing. We can write the same loop again in a different way. All these parts were optional. We can convert the for loop into a while loop as well. What is the meaning of illegal expression error? So probably you wrote something that is error, that's not allowed. Illegal statement, illegal expression is something that you wrote that is not allowed, which is, so for example, let's say I write this string s is equals to 1, 2, 3. Okay. If I run this, are you seeing this cannot be converted? This is an error. Similar to this, if you write something which is error, which is not allowed, you'll see illegal expression. That expression is not allowed. You're not allowed to do that work. Okay. How to stop an infinite loop? Control C. Control C is the thing that you can use to stop the infinite loop. So let me go to the terminal. Chalo, finally cipher wala ka hint de hi dete. Okay. You are asking cipher, which code is it? Code number 2. I'm not sure. Code number 5. Day number 5. अच्छा, someone solve this questions for you. Code of the day किसी ने solve कर दिया क्या? For you all. Alice and Bob have decided to encrypt. अच्छा, ठीक है. ये तो बहुत simple question है जरूर. See, so Alice and Bob, there are 2 people. They decided to communicate with one another. Okay, and then they tried to create a mapping of letters. Okay, so they created mappings. So, for example, they will call A as 0, B as 1, C as 2, right, and so on. Okay. Now your task is to print out the encrypted string for the given message, encrypted string for the given message string. So let's say you are given a message Earth. You have to form this thing. So what is E? What is E? E is the letter 4. Okay. What is A? A is the letter A is 0. Okay. What is R? R is 17. What is T? T is 19. What is H? H is 7. Okay. Now, did I teach you string concatenation today? String concatenation, did I teach you? क्या मैंने पढ़ाया कुछ string concatenation जैसा आज? If you remember, you listen to the class carefully. Can you use it to solve the problem? If the string s dot, how do you get a character in a string? I told you. So I taught you loops as well. Now, can you go through all the characters in a string? Go through all the character in a string. If the character is, let's say, A, yes, carrot. Yeah, do you remember carrot? I taught you something like carrot. So caret 0 gives you the 0th character. Caret 1 gives you the first character. Caret 2 gives you the second character. S dot caret, right? So you can do S dot caret 0 will give you the first character. For generically, you can write inside a loop. S dot caret I. Now, how will you know the length of string? That I'll leave you figure out. There is a thing site known as Google. Search it. How will you know the length of string in Java? You'll get the length of string. Okay. I told how you can find out the length of the string. Once you find out the length of the string, you can write a loop using which you can go through the entire string. Now you can add, if it is E, then add 4. If it is A, add 0 to the string. If it is R, add 17 to the string, and keep on doing it until you get this thing. If it is this, then you will get this result. Print it. I gave you enough hints. This was enough hints. This was entire solution. Now solve it. See, I tell you these small things in between, right, which will help you solve questions. जो ये छोटी चीजें मैं बता देता हूँ ना बीच में. So this will help you. So this was not related, right? I could have skipped this entire string concatenation wala theory, but I told you, right? ठीक है. समझ नहीं आ रहा? ठीक है. अच्छा, I know there are few people who solved it. ठीक है. Put your doubts in Discord for them. ठीक है. So there are people who will help you. ठीक है. But the problem is you will have to ask them. ठीक है. See, if you want to learn something, you need to learn the skill to ask people, right? So there is a Discord community, and the reason to create that Discord community is to help you all talk with each other. There are more than 400 people right now. If you put your question in this Discord, there are people who have solved. They will put their solution. They will help you. Okay, how to find the length of the string. They will help you. How to find out how to add the string. They will help you. Right? If you put the doubts, they will help you. But you have to put the doubt. You will have to ask. Right? Now use that community, hustle somewhat, thoda sa mehnat karo, hustle somewhat, and you'll get this. If this was a assignment question, I would have solved it. I would have given the answer. But code of the day, entire purpose of this is to make you hustle. Entire purpose of code of the day is to make you struggle. Okay, this is something which I'll cover. ये सारे questions मैं solve कर दूँगा. ठीक है. But the point of code of the day is to make you somewhat struggle so that you know how to solve questions, you know how to ask questions and so on. So you covered loops, right? Functions and arrays will start somewhere tomorrow. Okay. We are still in day 5 and we have only 2-3 topics left. So functions, arrays, and then we'll have revision, practice and practice and practice. Okay, see, there is one more assignment on conditionals that's there in unit 8. You can solve this as well. Okay, conditionals का ये भी solve हो जाएगा. How many of you have attempted this one? Conditionals, this. How many of you attempted this? So today, for those of you who have not attempted, go this one, attempt this one, solve the 3 questions that there in unit 8 as well. Okay, don't wait for me to cover till come till day 8. And go to loops as well. There is a unit 9 loops. Try to solve this one as well. Okay. This one though you'll have to solve. So the unit 4 you'll solve, but try the unit 9 one as well. Code of the day helps in Sapling or Pioneer discount. I guess it is for both. It is for both. No matter which program you enroll in, it is for both the discounts, I guess. In lead code easy question mein factorial bits. Yes, lead code easy is similar to this, right? Stopwatch I'll explain. In unit 8, there is a stopwatch question that I'll explain. Okay. Yes, if you attempt, you'll get the scholarship. It will be asked in AccioJob. So whatever we have covered till now, probably somewhat more than this, but only around till these topics. Whatever we have covered, you'll get questions. You'll have to solve, right? Code of the day is not mandatory. You have to solve at least 22 of these assignments, but I'll suggest solve as many questions, solve all of them. Okay, because if you solve, that will help you in your interviews. In interviews, you are going to get questions. In the exam, you are going to get questions. They'll have to solve the exam, you'll have to clear the interview, then only you'll be able to enter into the batch, right? Chalo. Thank you, everyone. I hope you learned something today. Did you learn something today? Can you put a yes, no? 50% understood, more than 50%. Happy. Is the day ending on a happy note, right? I know the afternoon was not as happy as it is. Okay. So we'll be more happy as we complete and as we learn more things. Thank you, everyone. See you again tomorrow. Bye-bye. Take care. Good night. Have a great day.